We will have any public comments and questions related to the presentation. And again, please introduce yourself for the record.
And for the television.
Yeah.
And for the television. Good evening, David Weissman, Alliance for Nuclear Responsibility. Thank you for the opportunity, and thanks to Mr. Hipschman for appearing today. I guess this gives us a chance to address comments that we might have were the shutdown not going to take the annual assessment meeting away from us 2 weeks from now, when it would have been perhaps, but to take good advantage of the fact that he was willing to show up and make his presentation this evening.
To write your comments.
And what I would like to ask is how the public can actually begin to gain any confidence in the NRC's resident inspector program after having witnessed in the past 2 years the system by which Dr. Peck's concerns, aforementioned, about a violation of the license's seismic design basis were basically obfuscated to the point of being literally quite frankly snuffed out by the management. And by that I reference the fact that the discovery process through which we obtained and have publicly made available the various emails use quite less than collegial language between the utility and the NRC and reference to Dr. Peck and his findings, and have in fact by this process actually created a de facto license amendment, since the staff has decided to at least wait until the 2015 results of seismic studies to make some kind of a determination about the seismic design basis at the plant. And that's a subject that we've not yet received resolution on, in spite of repeated letters up to the chairman of the NRC. And so in regards to that, I would have to ask how much autonomous power Mr. Hipschman really thinks he has, in light of the way his colleague was treated, as the email chains reveal, at the NRC, given that there is, as we've heard tonight from other members of the public, probably no more serious issue than compliance, at least at a minimum, with the existing, as written, as Dr. Budd has put out, legally required design basis of the plant. And so actually this is a question, not as your remit, but taking advantage of the fact that Mr. Hipschman was here, how he plans to deal with that, given that, for example, some of the harsh comments by Neil O'Keefe at the NRC, who I guess remains Mr. Hipschman's boss, if you can use that word at this time, is still the person in power there. And so I guess that would be my question. It was really more for Mr. Hipschman than the panel here, but taking advantage of his presence here this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any additional public questions at this point? Ms. Lewis, again, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sherry Lewis. I would like to know what the mission statement is of the NRC. That's my question.
That's a good question.
So I need an answer.
Oh, okay. Okay. Very good. Any additional public questions? At this point, we will give Mr. Hipschman an opportunity if he wishes to address the questions, and if not, then we will also follow up and see what information we can. So, yes, please, Tom.
Common Defense and Security and Environment. It's taken from the Act.
Simply, the mission of the NRC is to protect public health and safety in the environment. With respect to Mr. Peck, I couldn't discuss any personal specifics with him, but it does give me an opportunity to highlight a process we do have in the NRC. We have several avenues for the staff to raise differences of opinion. The first step is the one that Mr. Peck took in a non concurrence, where he did not agree with his managers or branch chief, Mr. O'Keefe's action with respect to the inspection report. Another avenue to raise concerns with the NRC concerning technical issues is a differing professional opinion. Actually, these processes are highly valued within the NRC, and I would feel comfortable myself in using them to raise an issue if I felt that my branch chief or above was not taking my issue seriously or did not understand it accurately.
Just wanted to throw a phrase out that's been in my mind for decades. The mission to protect public health and safety, common defense and security, and the environment. And those intermediate words are also...
True.
So let's say it again. Public health and safety, common defense and security, and the environment. And that's from the original act.
That's true.
Right. I know
Yes.
you didn't...
Thank you for that correction.
It is important to remember that the NRC has a security role. It's not our remit, but no one here should forget that. It's a really, and I know you don't forget it.
Well, it's a very large role, and then we have a role in that as well, but we also have some specialty inspectors that have significant experience in that area, do those inspections.
Now, for the benefit of the audiences of the committee, would you be able to describe in a little bit more detail about the processes of non-concurrence and the process of a differing professional opinion at the agency?
I'm not an expert in those areas. I can just discuss from my personal knowledge that I'm aware that those avenues are available. A non-concurrence is a process that can be used in a documentation, a report, a paper that goes through a concurrence chain. What that means is when I submit my inspection report, it goes to my branch chief. He's the signature authority. In headquarters, if you might have a paper, it might go through several offices where they all have to sign out. If you've ever looked at an inspection report, you'll see a whole bunch of little boxes near the front of the report with some initials. Those are all the people that have signed off or concurred in the report's contents. If something was taken out of the report or added to the report that the signing authority was going to include or not include the report, I could non-concur in that report. And then I could submit through the chain of command within the NRC what I believe the correct position should be, and that will be reviewed by the management. I would also get a response back.
Right.
A differing professional opinion can occur about an issue that's not within a report. How the NRC has taken a position on a certain issue or subject, and if I as an individual believe that they're missing the mark, I can put my opinions out there, and those will get reviewed. I'll get an answer back, and either they'll be accepted or not accepted.
So any technical staff could evoke any one of the two procedures to
And
express...
I believe there's some other ones, but I'm at a loss to bring them up right now.
Right, without jeopardizing his professional career. I mean, that's the point I want to make. Right, I mean, this is why these procedures are in place.
That's true.
Thank you. I think that there is some commonality also with processes that are used within academics to perform peer review on scientific articles. And again, there can be very significant disagreements that end up being resolved through these processes of peer review and bringing in substantial numbers of experts. Okay. With that, I think we've reached the end of this particular evening of the first day of the 71st Diablo Canyon Independent Safety Committee meeting. At this point,